Welcome to the Cropwell stand at Cereals 2015. Thanks for dropping by, you're very welcome. If you've got any questions afterwards, please go to our website www.cropwellltd.co.uk. So, why do we exist? We set up because you, as farmers, were asking us for better formulations of micronutrients. So, what have we done this season? We've set up a brand new company and we've successfully sold magnesium, manganese, boron, all those things you're currently using in very clever formulations. To show you exactly what the Aciplex formulation can do for you, I'm now going to hand over to Wilson Boardman of Micromix.
Hello, I'm Wilson Boardman. I'm the MD of Micromix and we make the Cropacre range for Cropwell. I'm here today to talk to you about Cropacre manganese. The beauty of the Cropacre manganese is that a 10 kilo bag will treat 10 hectares at the maintenance rate or 5 hectares at the serious deficiency rate. We call it Aciplex because it's a combination of two different carboxylic acids with lignosulfonates. The beauty of it is that you can simply pour this powder into the induction hopper with not a huge amount of water going through it, and it just dissolves. It just goes into the spray tank and dissolves in a way that no other formulation of solid manganese will do. It's a beautiful product because although we put on a relatively small amount of manganese, the delivery formulation that it's in gets a lot of it into the plant very efficiently and very quickly. We can say that 1 kilo of our Cropacre manganese is equivalent to at least 3 and probably 3.5 kilos of manganese sulfate. We have some mixes as well. We have a pulse and rate mix for pod crops, which is Cropacre pod mix, which has a marvellous effect on improving the percentage of pods that we get from the original flower set.
Thanks very much, Wilson. So, how's it worked out in practice? Well, up in Leicestershire, we have Wright Agriculture. They've used our formulations of Cropacre, manganese, and Cropacre, magnesium on their whole 3,000 acres of wheat. Why would they do that? Well, the manganese formulation dissolves rapidly and they've had up to 5-way tank mixes. And the magnesium, well, that's replaced bitter salts and it's essential. Did you know the wheat plants really cannot pull enough magnesium up out of the soil at grain fill, even if the magnesium levels are sufficient. So you really need to be applying it at growth stage 49 and 61, 2 kilograms per hectare each time. And don't forget, our products are available online. Just log on to www.cropwellltd.co.uk. So, to move on, once you've tried our basics, manganese, magnesium, those sorts of things that you're currently using, why not move on to our range of biostimulants? The other product we've had some great results with is Seed Start. That's a seed coat dressing that you put on in the autumn. If you have CYO, those sorts of people dress your seed, they can put it on. All you need is 2 litres per tonne for wheat and barley and cereals, and 8 litres per tonne for oilseed rape. It comes in handy 20-litre cans and we can supply that for you. And then you'll find a whole range of micronutrients and phosphates on the seed coat ready for the seed when it starts to grow.
So here's a graph. This trial was designed for us by Nottingham University and carried out by a trials company in Yorkshire. Our product is in green. It was a destructive trial and after 7, 14, 21 and 28 days the wheat seedlings were destroyed and weighed and measured, and you can see the heights here shown on this graph, and you can see that at every stage there was more plant mass on those wheat grains treated with our micronutrient seed dressing, and at the fourth measurement here after 28 days the plant mass had a height that was 20% greater than the untreated wheat plants.
Now, the other important thing that we sell is foliar nitrogen. Foliar nitrogen is really important, we feel, because the government's really sensitive now to nitrogen levels in the soil. So if you're applying 3 or 4 solid or liquid fertiliser applications to your wheat crops or any other crop you've got, why not swap the last 2 applications to a foliar nitrogen source that we can supply as Proteus. Some of you use multi-N, but Proteus. Why not change to a foliar application? This does away with all of the problems of nitrogen leaching into the soil, because 99% of the nitrogen is landing on the plant leaf. Also, you can put it on the same time as you're putting on herbicides, perhaps your T2 spray or your air emergence spray, in up to a 5-way tank mix with, say, a growth regulator and a fungicide and what have you, all at the same time. We've had some really good results, and I'll hand over to Wilson Boardman, who can explain exactly the technology behind it.
One of the major projects that we're working on, and in fact we're getting some grant-funded research to look at, is the possibility of replacing some of the soil-applied nitrogen with foliar-applied nitrogen. If we take a crop that's going to get 200 kilos of soil-applied nitrogen, whether it's wheat, rape, doesn't matter really, and we reduce that by 40%, so we're only going to apply 120 kilos of soil-applied nitrogen, and we make our initial spring application the same as it would have been if it was 70 kilos, we put 70 kilos on it. And then what's left, we split between two reduced applications of soil-applied nitrogen. In addition to that, we take the 40% of soil-applied nitrogen that we're not going to use anymore, we halve it from 80 kilos to 40 kilos, and we apply 40 kilos of foliar. But we don't start until we've got good leaf cover, good ground cover, good crop density, so that we're not spraying soil, we're spraying plant. And we put it through an ordinary crop sprayer. We can tank mix it with fungicides, we can even tank mix it with some herbicides. And we're going to put that 40 kilos on in two 20 kilo hits. And we're going to put two 60 litre per hectare applications on either side of the soil applied, with the first one at stem extension, and again at flag leaf on wheat, or in rape at the point where we get maximum branching in the raceme, mid to late flowering. So we're looking for cooperators. Are you the sort of guy who is willing to, in 2016, take a couple of fields, different soil types, run as many variety of soil types as possible, and this is particularly going to suit those of you who are on light soils, close to waterways, or organic soils, fen soils, where NSAs and NVZs are negatively impacting on the amount of nitrogen you can use to grow your crops. So, would you like to help? Let me know. Thanks.
So thanks very much for listening. That's all we've got to tell you today. Do have a drink with us while you're here. Ask myself, Charles or Wilson any technical questions you may have, and we wish you a successful Cereals 2015. Thank you.
So, I'll leave you with this graph, which was produced by the Oxford Farming Conference in January this year. Just take a look, ladies and gentlemen who are farmers. The productivity in the world, out of all the countries shown on this graph, Britain is the worst. Our productivity is really lagging behind, and we think micronutrients can help us get up there and be some of the best arable farmers in the world. So come on, are you up for the challenge? Because Cropwell is.